As pastor here for just over 5 years, it is with great affection that I bid farewell to the community of St. John the Evangelist. I've tried to prepare y'all for the next step and offered so far 2 pieces of parting advice, and I have a third. The first is to trust Jesus no matter what happens. The second is to avoid treating each other and your new pastor according to the flesh. Or as St. Paul tells us today, may you excel in this gracious act of welcoming Father Broussard and seeing Christ in him and each other. For the final piece of parting advice, I offer you the example of the afflicted woman to say this: take ownership of your faith. It is not the skill and the holiness of the apostles that heal this woman, but her own faith. To touch Christ with faith is to be healed and strengthened. We encounter Christ in the sacraments given us through Christ and through the priests of the church. Yet we priests are instruments through which your faith comes into contact with Jesus. We're kind of like the hem of his garment in this scene, the place of contact, but not the source of the power. And as you move forward as individuals and a community, I urge you to never forget this. Your faith is what this parish needs to flourish and for you to grow in holiness. Every baptized Christian is the person most responsible for their own holiness and salvation. Take ownership of that. Find power and comfort in that fact. Many people have thanked me for the work I've done here, and I'm grateful to God for whatever good he has accomplished through me, and often despite me. But I must once again point out that it is your response that has made this parish fruitful. Yes, I asked for money to pay bills, to care for the poor, to hire people and complete projects, but it was you who gave generously. I proposed an aftercare program, but it was y'all who showed up to make it happen. I invited the retreat program to our parish, but y'all attended it, and now you run it. I reorganized the catechism program, but you came, and you participated. I preached, and you listened. I asked for an intercessory team, and one was formed. And then there's all the things I had nothing to do with, but was simply witness to. The multiple times that this community organized itself to care for the bereaved or sick members of it. The Christmas lunch that was proposed by the sisters and carried out by y'all despite my hesitations. The countless little tasks of repairs and maintenance that I never even asked about and sometimes didn't even know about. Decorating the church, preparing the hall for all kinds of events, the Thanksgiving food drive, the blood drives, the Knights of Columbus, the Catholic Daughters, and who knows what else I've never even seen. There is faith here, your faith. Even when I first arrived, it was obvious to me that many of you had learned to persevere, to quietly take up your burdens, practice your faith, and look for chances to love and serve others. Your faith is yours. Like the woman in the gospel, do not be too cowed or ashamed to reach out with faith and grab hold of Jesus, no matter what others are thinking or doing. The Book of Wisdom reminds us that God formed man to be imperishable. And as you navigate this next chapter in your lives, let that truth remain rooted in your heart and mind, a place of stability. You are meant to be imperishable, as are your fellow human beings. But nothing else in this world is. Organizations and groups and initiatives and buildings and governments and so on, all these things come and go. Even this wonderful church and this town will one day fade away, but you will not. Your soul, rooted in faith, is meant to be undying. So do not be surprised when something you've come to rely on, to depend on, is stripped away from you. Still, I personally do not think that St. John's is in any danger of disappearing anytime soon, for 2 reasons. First and foremost is what I've seen in you, that I see faith, I see hope, I see love, I see good people, broken, sinful, struggling, yes, but good people whose faith can heal them and those around them, as long as they continue to reach out to Christ. Secondly, this church is beautiful and fruitful. From the faith that built this building, to the many things this community has accomplished, to the vocations born here, to the effect it has had on my own spiritual life and priesthood, I sense that this church, this community, is part of a larger tapestry within God's providence. That this beauty is powerful, and you have it both in the building and in the souls that fill it. I do say this with one caveat. This parish needs you. Do not abandon her. It would be a lie for me to say that I'm unaffected by the compliments I've received. It is flattering to think that many people feel a personal loyalty to me, claiming that my preaching or my efforts helped them, and so they want to remain close to me. And so I thank you for your love, your gratitude, your loyalty. Still, it is not me that this parish needs most. It is not necessarily a saintly pastor that this parish needs most, though you must pray that your pastors do become holy. Your mother church needs you, her dear children, more. Whatever happens, try your hardest not to turn away from her. This probably doesn't need to be said, but it's worth saying anyway. I know that I'm not that far away, but please do not follow me. I heartily welcome the occasional visit, and I will rejoice to see you from time to time. But please keep St. John's as your home parish if you can. Continue to show up to Mass here, to give here, to serve here. The love and loyalty you have shown me is appreciated, and may God reward you. But the love and loyalty you show to this parish is more important. It benefits you to be loyal in the midst of change and trial, and it benefits your brothers and sisters in Christ to have your loyalty to them. I will continue to post my homilies. Hundreds of priests do, by the way. It's always an option to go online and find preaching that strengthens your faith. I hope that some of you, at least, did in fact go listen to another homily online on those days when my words maybe didn't quite cut it. It's not a betrayal to seek out good preaching and teaching wherever you find it, so long as you continue to be present here, to worship here, to serve here. Just, try not to pit priests against each other or tear us down when one does better somewhere else. And take note of the good that your priest does. Give yourself to God in this parish, and know that God cannot be outdone in generosity. St. John's has become home to me. You have become family to me. Despite my struggles and failures and complaints, I thank God for this. Because of your faith and love, I thank God. Though I am no longer your pastor, I am still your brother in Christ. So let us continue to pray for one another, united in holy communion. God bless you all, and farewell.